Let's get the view from our team of insiders right now. Matthew Dowd worked for both Democrats and Republicans, including President George W. Bush. Donna Brazile, campaign manager for Al Gore, other Democratic candidates. Nicolle Wallace also worked for President Bush and the McCain-Palin ticket. And Matthew, let me begin with you. Right now, clearly, Mitt Romney came in, spent a lot of time preparing for this, and it paid off.
Yeah, he actually made the right decision. There was some criticism that he wasn't doing enough events going in, that he was spending too much time on debate prep, but they made the calculation, which I think was accurate, that moments like these can wipe the slate clean of what's gone on the last month. Barack Obama's had a great month and a half, but in one 90-minute period, I think this race is going to gone from a slight President Obama lead to a dead-even race, and I think by the time you wake up on Monday morning, this race will be tied.
And a lot of people wondering, Don, a lot of the president's supporters, you see it on Twitter, you see it in the blogs, you heard it on television last night. Where was the president? Where was the fight?
Well, he was a little rusty, George. After 4 years, he hasn't been in the one-on-one kind of debate setting in a long time. But look, I think the president won on poise. He won on grace. He won on substance. Mitt Romney came to play hardball, and it showed. Mitt Romney was on the attack. He was on the offensive. But at the same time, he didn't really land any big punches on President Obama. And President Obama left a lot of the, what I call, some of the good stuff in the locker room. So we'll see more of that next time.
But at least those early polls of the viewers who watched said that the president lost.
Well, look, losing on attacks will not hurt the president with the American people who want to hear the substance. What are you going to do for us in the future? I think on those grounds, President Obama did not lose the debate.
Nicolle, this is so much like what happened to one of your former bosses, President George W. Bush, back in 2004. John Kerry came in to the debates behind, took it to the president. The president recovered over those next few debates. So what does Obama's team say to him this morning?
Well, it's a dicey thing. I mean, it's very easy to forget that these men are human beings, and they are demoralized by a bad night. They're buoyed by a great night, and so you got to build them back up. And I think that the reality sets in pretty immediately for any candidate. They know when they've done a bad job, they know they've done a good job. But the good news for Romney is that he didn't just do himself a world of good with Republicans. Republicans, for the first time, feel like that we've got a guy who can actually win this. He managed to frame the debate in a way that does us a world of good with independent voters, with people still making up their mind by framing this election as a choice and a philosophical debate with his specifics right underneath them, the way we know Romney can do, about the role of government in American life, which is something Republicans have long felt would put Romney on solid ground.
And he did see, Matthew Dowd, for the first time to reach beyond that conservative base and really talk to independents about issues they would care about. For example, health care. Did a good job of defending his health care in Massachusetts.
Well, absolutely. And I think ultimately they were speaking to persuadable voters or undecided voters. But the Republicans will get more and more enthusiastic, the interesting thing, as the poll numbers change. As Mitt Romney starts to take leads in some of these battleground states, which my expectation he will based upon last night, it's not over. It's a close race. The other thing that happened last night, which is a big part of this, is there's been two factors at play. There's been the environment of the country, the large number of people that think we're on the wrong track, and then the perceptions or images of the candidates. Each had an advantage. What happened last night is on the image of the candidates and perceptions of the candidates, Mitt Romney evened that ground. And when that happens, people say, well, since they're both roughly even, we're off on the wrong track. Why wouldn't I take a chance on the new guy? And that's, I think, the difficult side that President Obama's got to get. He has to turn this around. First person to do that is Vice President Biden. That's the next stop. But after that is his debate.
And so he's got two more coming up. So, Donna, let me ask you the same question I asked Nicolle. You're in the room with President Obama today. What do you tell him?
Mr. President, get a good night's sleep, have that anniversary champagne, but guess what? You have two more debates. Look up and give it to Mitt Romney. And also, defend Big Bird next time.